returns. "Yes, sir," Miss Himmelstein answers, then turns to Rick. "How do you take your coffee, Mr. Dalton?" Rick turns to her and says, "Haven't you heard? Black is beautiful." Marvin lets out a klaxon-like guffaw, while Miss Himmelstein covers her mouth with her hand as she giggles. Before his secretary can close the door behind her, Marvin yells out, "Oh, and Miss Himmelstein, short of my wife and kids dead on the highway, hold my calls. In fact, if my wife and kids are dead, well, they'll all be just as dead 30 minutes from now, so hold all my calls." The agent gestures for the actor to sit on one of 2 leather sofas that face each other, a glass-top coffee table between them, and Rick makes himself comfortable. "First things first," the agent says. "I send you greetings from my wife, Mary Alice Schwartz. We had a Rick Dalton double feature in our screening room last night." "Wow, that's both flattering and embarrassing," Rick says. "What'd you see?" "Film prints of Tanner and the 14 Fists of McCluskey." "Well, them are 2 of the good ones," Rick says. "McCluskey was directed by Paul Wankos. He's my favorite of all my directors. He made Gidget. I was supposed to be in that. Tommy Laughlin got my part. But then he magnanimously waves it away. But that's okay. I like Tommy. He got me in the first big play I ever did." "Really?" Marvin asks. "You've done a lot of theater?" "Not much," she says. "I get bored doing the same shit again and again." "So, Paul Wendkos is your favorite director, huh?" Marvin asks. "Yeah, I started out with him in my early days. I'm in his Cliff Robertson picture, Battle of the Coral Sea. You can see me and Tommy Laughlin hanging out in the back of the submarine the whole damn picture." Marvin makes one of his declarative industry statements. "Paul fucking Wendkos, underrated action specialist." "Very true," Rick agrees. "And when I landed Bounty Law, he came on and directed about 7 or 8 episodes." "So," Rick asks, fishing for a compliment, "I hope the Rick Dalton double feature wasn't too painful for you and the missus." Marvin laughs. "Painful? Stop. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful," Marvin continues. "So Mary Alice and I watched Tanner. Mary Alice doesn't like the violence in modern movies these days, so I saved McCluskey to watch by myself after she went to bed." Then there's a small tap on the office door. Just before the miniskirt-wearing Miss Himmelstein enters the office, carrying 2 cups of steaming coffee for Rick and Marvin. She carefully hands the hot beverages to the 2 gentlemen. "This is from Rex's office, right?" "Rex said you owe him one of your cigars." The agent snorts. "That cheap Jew bastard. The only thing I owe him is a hard time." Everybody laughs. "Thank you, Miss Himmelstein. That will be all for now." She exits, leaving the 2 men alone to discuss the entertainment business, Rick Dalton's career, and, more important, his future. "Where was I?" Marvin asks. "Oh, yeah, violence in modern movies. Mary Alice doesn't like it, but she loves Westerns, always has. We saw Westerns all through our courtship. Watching Westerns together is one of our favorite things to do, and we thoroughly enjoyed Tanner." "Ah, that's nice," Rick says. "Now, when we do these double features," Marvin explains, "by the last 3 reels of the first film, Mary Alice is asleep in my lap. But for Tanner, she made it to just before the last reel, which was 9:30, which is pretty good for Mary Alice." As Marvin explains to Rick the movie-viewing habits of the happy couple, Rick takes a sip of the hot coffee. "Hey, that's good," the actor thinks. "This Rex fella does have classy coffee." Marvin continues. "Movie's over, she goes to bed, I open up a box of Havanas, pour myself a cognac, and watch the second movie by myself." Rick takes another sip of Rex's delicious coffee.